good? Matt Clark here at the new Matt Clark. How are each and every one of you doing on this amazing Monday? I'm doing great. My girl's doing great. My family's doing great. I hope each and every one of you are doing great despite the uncertain times that we're living in. If you could please hit that like button, that subscribe button, and that bell notification button to get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. You just gotta go back to one of my old videos. So what's up? I hope everybody started off their week with an amazing Monday. And I got a kind of a disturbing story, but I wanna talk about it. I'm not gonna show you the video, but there is a video you can see. I'm gonna link it in the description. You can go check OG Fred's channel out, Tales from the Pen. He has it posted on his channel. I'm gonna just break it down for you word by word, at least what I saw from it and where I think things went wrong and how this is a reality in prison. So, when you go to prison, you're not supposed to have to worry about losing your life. You're supposed to be safe. And a lot of the time, whether it's neglect or corruption or just people not being trained right, that doesn't happen and people lose their life when they shouldn't or get extremely hurt. I'm telling you, in this story, it's amazing the guy's not dead. If he might be dead by now, if he's not brain dead or at least severely brain damaged, I would be amazed. And I don't know, it would just be amazing to me if this guy pulls through in any way, shape, or form. So the guy's name is J. Sean Boyd. He's a 22-year-old with diagnosed schizophrenia. He's in Essex County Correctional Facility in Newark, New Jersey. If you've heard about Newark, New Jersey, you know that it's going to be a rough jail. It's going to be a rough correctional center. And they put this kid on the worst gang unit in the whole jail. Now, the family says there are no gang ties, that he's not involved in gang stuff. I don't know if that's factual. For me, though, this beating, it's impossible that this beating is not personal. Whether he went on the block and started moving funny or doing weird things because of his schizophrenia, which is sad because he should have never been there in the first place. Whether he was put there by the staff on purpose so he could get hurt and it got out of hand and maybe they didn't expect it to get that bad. But the reality is, to me, it's a personal attack. It is savage. Something that you would expect to see from ops or somebody who maybe had killed or victimized a friend or a family member. There's no way that there isn't more behind this story. I wish I could tell you about it. But it starts out, there's 7-on-1. And it starts out guys just punching him. Bang, bang. But they're hard punches. Like he's on the ground taking hard punches. Then this guy grabs a broomstick and just starts smoking him in the face with this broomstick. Now, he's trying to fight. He's trying to block for a little bit at the beginning. But he's taking stomps. Like I'm talking stomps in the face. He's taking like hard down punches. Full through punches right in his face. It's a really relentless and savage thing to see. And eventually, he gets knocked out. And when he's knocked out, you can see he's laying there like this. And at that point, you're expecting to see the feds roll in with a CERT team or at least like a goon squad, somebody come in and stop it. But that doesn't happen. The video goes on for minutes. And I'm telling you, it gets more and more and more savage. As he's knocked out, these guys are so angry. They keep coming back. I'm telling you, it's like 10, 15 times these guys come back. First, they come with like those tea jugs. Anybody who's been in prison, you know those rubber tea jugs or those hard plastic tea jugs with the buckle down lids that they can send in like 40 or 50 people's worth of tea in one jug. That's what they had, and they're smashing him with this thing right in his face. They're throwing it in his face. Keep in mind, he's knocked out, so he's not blocking none of this. Then there's a water cooler smashed in his face, squeegees, the hard end of the mop, the thing that drains the mop thing out, the mop bucket with all the cleaner, and then there's a microwave that just keeps getting smashed down into his face. Man, I'm telling you, watching it, I felt so bad for the guy that it almost made me like tear up. To watch somebody in that situation getting beaten that badly and nobody's doing anything. Nobody's trying to help him. Like, at the end of the day, in most cases, when somebody gets attacked that I've seen, somebody will usually come and try to help clean them up. And at least if it's getting out of control, even sometimes the homies of the attackers will slow it down so these guys don't catch a body on camera. But there's none of that. It seemed like these were the only 8 guys that were out on the block, the 7 attackers and the 1 victim, and you don't see a staff member anywhere. I find it hard to believe, or impossible to believe, that they didn't know what was going on and they weren't letting it happen. Forget about neglect, okay? They can get officers from one point of the building to another point of the building in 1 minute. I've seen it happen many a times in my 17 years in time. Now, if you're in the federal system in Canada and you're getting poked up, stabbed up, attacked out deep in the yard, they're most likely going to leave you. You're most likely going to get left there if there's nowhere for them to get an open shot. But if they can get an open shot and somebody is openly killing you, they're going to take that shot. Now, in the provincial system in Canada, the guards are running in. If you are fighting, they're going to hit a code, boom, and within 2 minutes, or it seems like 2 minutes, but it's probably not even more than like a minute, you're going to have 30, 40 blue shirts running into the side. They're going to have tear gas. They're going to have rubber bullet grenade guns. They shoot these balls out that go boom, boom, and on the second bounce, they just shoot rubber bullets in every direction. They'll have the OC spray, the level 5 OC spray, which is putting down a bear. I don't care who you are, it's putting you down in most cases, unless you're whacked out on drugs or you're having a crazy mental health episode. But man, by the time this beating is done, it literally looks like his face is flattened, he's dead, he's lying in a pool of water and cleaner, there is blood all throughout it, he is not moving, budging, you can't see none of that, he is stiff. And I'm telling you, the beating that happened when I was in the Don, I'm pretty sure it wasn't that bad. Mind you, it was in a cell, but I could tell by the damage on the man's face that it probably wasn't as bad as that. He must have just had a bad reaction to certain blows. But the fact that this guy is alive at last check, this man was in critical condition. There is no way that there isn't severe brain damage with this person. I can't see how that happens. I've seen and heard of guys getting kicked in the head one time and basically becoming slow. And it's just impossible. Now, I recommend that nobody watches this video. It is evil, it is dark, and it will definitely have you in your feelings. I'm somebody who kind of lacks empathy to these things, and it still affected me. It's never good to watch somebody get attacked like that, so don't voluntarily do it. Just take my word for it. Essex County Jail, Newark, New Jersey. Now, we know Newark, New Jersey. I've been hearing stories about Newark since I was a kid, about the carjackings and the gang problems. So clearly, it's a serious jail. It's probably a lot like any other hardcore jail that's in the middle of a major metropolitan, and in the middle of a gang unit, they put a guy with diagnosed schizophrenia. I don't care if he's a gang member. He may make certain mistakes, say certain things, have a certain level of courage because of his disabilities. He might just creep people out, freak people out. You never know. And when you put somebody who's battling with mental health in a confined situation, it's never good. They never react well. especially with no counseling, just throwing them to the wolves. If this wasn't set up, if this wasn't either the staff doing it or the inmates trying to get him because he did something to somebody, then these dudes have serious problems. If this is just a guy who's got mental health being put on the wrong unit, I wouldn't want to know about these people. Now, I read a little bit about Essex County in Newark, New Jersey, and they have an inmate rape prevention program there. So we know what kind of a place it is. Not a whole lot of anything I would want anything to do with. Any prison where men take men, I'm telling you, is whack-a-doodle-doo. Never co-sign none of that. And honestly, I'd never co-sign an assault like this unless, if I would never co-sign it, period. But if he's a rapist or a child molester or something like that, then, who am I? Who am I to say no, right? But if this is just a beating and it just got out of hand, actually, you know what? There's no way, man. This is a full-out attempt murder on camera. They didn't give a damn, and it is what it is. And the reality is that is prison. There's not enough of a watchdog to ensure that training is done right, that the prison is run right, that there isn't corruption running through the prison rampantly, and that is just something that you sign up for by going to prison. So, this video is a reminder to anybody who may be thinking about it. Don't think that's a one-off. That could happen to anybody. You could land in the wrong situation, get called out, get challenged, get your manhood challenged. You try to stand up for yourself and this kind of stuff happens. It happens occasionally, sometimes for no reason at all. I've seen beatings in my life. I saw a beating in Lindsay. Literally, the guys just asked the dude what he was in for. He was like an older guy. He didn't feel like he had to explain himself and just said, yo, move from me. The beating, the savage beating he took. I literally was on top of the guy telling my homie, it's like, bro, like the man's didn't even violate anybody. Like, you guys are going to get yourself caught up for what? One of you is fighting a murder case. Why would you even get yourself involved in this? Now, luckily, the guy was solid. He never even left the block. It was a bad situation, but they happen. Doesn't matter if you're cool or you're a waste man or people think you're a bad boy. You could just land in the wrong situation and people just don't want you there. Obviously, I share my stories with you guys so you guys don't have to go through these things yourselves. If I could snap my finger, nobody has to go back to prison. Nobody has to deal with a beating like this. Nobody has to be put in with the wolves while suffering with mental health. Then that's what I do. But that's not a reality, especially in 2021 and especially in prison. We know that they mistreat people with mental health every day. They don't take it seriously. They segregate, and it just makes things worse. It can compound the situation and make people's reactions worse. And sometimes these guys land on a range and their reaction just trips people out and they end up taking a beating. I remember I was in Lindsay one time and this guy came on the block and he was clearly suffering from mental health. Okay? He's an older African dude. He's probably like 50 years old. And guys were messing with him because he was tripping. And eventually he said some things that made guys mad. So he started getting slapped out. Before long, the man runs against the wall, strips his jumper off, goes balls naked, and just starts running at people. And before long, he's being attacked. The system neglects people with mental health, and that is something that needs to change. Severe mental health should never be locked up in anything but a hospital. And all you're doing basically is giving these guys like a 50-50 of making it out with their mind, and if not with their mind, with their physical self, because it just doesn't mix. You know what I'm saying? If you could please hit that like button, if you could please hit that subscribe button and that bell notification button so you get all my videos when they're new. If you could share with somebody on social media, help spread the message, help spread the word, that'd be amazing. And there's a PayPal option if you'd like to donate, help support the channel. The link is in the description of all of my old videos. Go back like 3-4 months. Now, OG Fred Taylor, I think is his name, Tales from the Pen. Check the channel out. I will link the video in the description, but I still, like I said, recommend that you don't watch it. It's really hard to watch, and it definitely is an eye-opener. It's an eye-opener because every day something like that can happen to anybody while you're locked up. Don't waste your time or your life behind bars, doing drugs, or just throwing your life away. You know, don't do it. It's not worth it. Love each and every one of you. The New Mac.